This story is from Your Turn Practice Book, page 73 and 74. In order to get 100 points for watching and listening to this, you need to get out Your Turn Practice Book, turn to 73 and 74, and do your best to follow along. If you do that, you can earn 100 points. You can also practice this story by going to the 5th grade reading class notes on the classwork page and finding the section where videos that are timed are stored. You can listen to it over and over and practice reading with it to improve your score. From slave to scientist, George Washington Carver was an African-American born into slavery in the South. He went on to become an agricultural chemist. He also taught and did research. His research made him well known, but teaching the children of former slaves may have meant more to him. Early years. Carver was the son of a slave woman owned by Moses Carver. As a child, Carver was greatly interested in plants. When he walked in the woods, he would collect different types. He loved to learn. He learned to read and write when he was still a young boy. At first, he was taught at home. Then, when he was about 11 years old, he went to a school for black children. For the next 20 years, Carver worked his way through school. In 1890, he started college. He showed skill as an artist, but he wanted a career in agriculture. Carver hoped that his work would help African Americans in the South. Many of them worked on farms. Carver finished college in 1894. Then he earned a master's degree in 1896. Tuskegee instructor and researcher. Carver then moved to Alabama to teach at the Tuskegee Institute. This was a school for African Americans. Carver became head of the agricultural department. Carver and his capable students ran experiments to test the soil in Alabama. Through these tests, the students could find out which kinds of plants would grow well there. In later years, Carver led other research projects to help Southern farmers. He looked for ways that farmers could grow more crops. His teams ran experiments in soil management and crop production. He also managed an experimental farm. There, his students planted different types of crops to see which ones would grow best. The soil in many places in the South was ruined by the planting of only cotton. Cotton had been planted year after year. Carver told local farmers to plant peanuts and sweet potatoes. He found that these crops would grow well in the Alabama soil. They would also put health back into the soil. Through research, Carver found that peanuts could be made into many kinds of items. He made at least 300 products from peanuts. Some of these were cheese, milk, and soap. Sweet potatoes also turned out to have many uses. Carver made more than 100 products from sweet potatoes. Flour, ink, and glue were a few of these. In 1914, Carver published information about his research. As a result, many more farmers began to raise peanuts and sweet potatoes. In 1921, Carver spoke before Congress. He explained the value of peanut production. The peanut became a leading crop in the country. Carver freed the South from its dependence on cotton. Later years, 1940, Carver gave his life savings to the Tuskegee Institute. The funds were used to create the George Washington Carver Research Foundation. Carver died in 1943. He is buried on the grounds of the Tuskegee Institute, the place where he had enjoyed such a long and rewarding career.